Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am playing with the Sprinkled with Love stamp set. I pulled out some Aqua Pigments. I also pulled out the Stencil. I'm going to challenge myself to use these very themed products for a not themed layout. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am going to do the packaging technique, and my packaging technique is actually on an acrylic block. So what I have done is taken my Aqua Pigments and I have placed them on top of the acrylic block, and I have just splatted them down on my white sheet of cardstock in the background. So I'm not really cleaning off anything. I am using multiple colors at once, and I am not waiting for things to completely dry. So as you can see where I have the blue and the green and the oranges, it does mix on the paper and they are not staying separate. Now, I am totally okay with this. I like this. I like the way that this has turned out. I am a huge fan of it. Now, I will say that this next part that I'm doing does not turn out as bright as I thought it was going to. I am using modeling paste, and I'm actually using some of that gold aqua pigment, and it doesn't make my modeling paste gold, like a bright gold. It kind of just gives it this little extra oomph of gold in it. It's like a kiss. It's like a hint of gold. So it's not going to be like in your face gold. And if that kind of stresses you out, then, you know, you're not going to want to do this. But this is a light kind of gold situation. Now, again, I am working on top of a wet background. So what that is going to do, that's going to cause these aqua pigments to actually react with what I am pushing through my stencil. So again, if that kind of thing stresses you out and you want distinct colors sitting on top of each other, you might want to let each individual thing dry completely before you move on to the next one. I'm not stressing about it. So I am using the Sprinkled with Love paper pad, and I'm going to go ahead and cut some shapes out. So I'm fussy cutting some hearts. I used a couple of different papers to mat my photo, and I put my photo kind of funky. So this is a photo of me and my family. We were in a car and I had fallen asleep, and as you can see, my head is back and my mouth is open, and my family thought that it would be great to take a selfie with me like that. So that is what is going on right here. Now, yeah, this is the kind of family we are, guys. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to document because this kind of shows our personalities. And it's not just all the posed photos and the good photos and the, you know, the perfectly lit photos and the photos that show you in the best possible way. Like me bent over, head back, mouth wide open, probably not the best photo in the world of me, but it was a good memory in the midst of a sad time. We were in Florida for my father-in-law's funeral. And, you know, it's just something that I want to document. So I'm taking the Sprinkled with Love stamp set, and I am stamping out these hearts, and I'm stamping them out on some coordinating, I will say close to coordinating papers for what I have going on in my background. Now, this is the watercolor paper pad, which is no longer available, but if you've got this in your stash, then you're going to want to use it. Now,
I am also stamping out the donuts. Now, as you can see, at first I was going to try to stamp and not have that circle portion in the middle. I was going to try to go with, you know, not having the donut hole or the donut inside. But ultimately, I decided that that was going to be too much work. It was too stressful to make that happen. So I'm just going to fussy cut out the donuts and the hearts. And then I also stamped out some of the sprinkly bits and cut those out as well. So now I am taking some more of the sprinkly bits and stamping the backgrounds of my layout. And that's just giving me an extra bit of depth and dimension to this background. So we've got the Aqua Pigments, the color going on. We've got that stencil bit, and as you can see, it's like the ever so slightest tinge of gold on there. It's not like bright in your face, sparkly, shiny gold. And then I decided that I needed to add some black to my photograph. Like my photos needed to have this extra little bit of black on it. And that's because I felt like that they were kind of getting lost on top of my mixed media background. Like they weren't popping out at you anymore. So I added that black cardstock, and that was what allowed my photo to pop. So I'm going to just create little clusters all over my page, and I'm using clusters with the hearts and sparkly bits. That's not a sparkly bit. Sprinkly bits and donutty bits. And I'm creating those clusters also with the hearts that I fussy cut out of the paper pad. So I'm mixing the colors. I'm repeating the colors. I'm kind of trying to stick to the three main colors kind of things that I got going on here. But ultimately, if things mix up a little bit, I'm okay with it. So I am going to put some of these bits off the edge of the page. And what that does is sometimes I don't want my layout contained in the 12 by 12 square that it is in. Sometimes I want my layout to kind of go out there, which is funny because there are other times where I feel like I need to contain my layout because it does feel like it's just floating out there. So it's really just a matter of preference and how you're feeling at the moment. And at the moment, I was feeling like I needed it to go, you know, I needed the little bits to go off the page. So I did trim them down. And now I'm going to add some last little bits. I'm going to add some puffy hearts in here, and also my title, which is This Traveler is Imperfect. And I will say I would have rathered it say Imperfect Traveler, but the letters didn't fit as well in the space, like the words didn't fit as well in the space. It fit better this way. So that's why the title ended up being kind of like a sentence instead of just a phrase. I am now going to add a sketchy border around the edge of the layout, and that's just to bring that little bit of black color around the entire layout. Since I do have it around my photos and my stamping, I just felt it just needed a little bit more, just a tiny little bit more. So that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. I do add some journaling right there underneath of the photo. And voila, there we go. This traveler is imperfect. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.